I can tell you right now, you can make one single decision in your life that will change your life forever. One single decision. You don't have to go and read all these different books. You don't have to go and figure out what do I need to do to make my life better. I can tell you that you only need to make one decision that will create the compounding effect of changing everything to change your life and turn you into the person that you know you're capable of becoming. It is a single decision. Tune in and find out. Welcome to Build with Rob. You know I led you in with that one. I led you in. You're in here now. Tell us, Rob, what's the single decision? What's the one thing that we've got to do? What's the one thing that we've got to do? We don't know. If it's that easy, it's a magic pill, Rob. It's just magic. And I do think it is magic. And it's not an entirely new concept. You've heard me say it a million different times. So prepare to be somewhat disappointed, but reinvigorated at the same point. What I think you really have to think about if you really want to change your life and make lasting change, and if you want to do it from a place that you really enjoy it, you have to make one commitment. And that one commitment is getting better in all aspects of life at all times. It is just one single commitment. How can I get better in all areas of life on an ongoing basis forever? If you make one commitment, if you make the commitment that I am going to try to get better in all aspects of my life, not just individual parts, but all of my life, and you commit to it, you will continuously grow and grow and grow until you become the ideal version of yourself. You will never get there if you try to commit to one part, just being healthy, just focused on a business and building a company or my job or career. You're never going to get there if you focus on one. You have to focus and commit to it all, and then you will incrementally grow into the ideal version of yourself. And I've said it so many different times in so many different ways, but I think about it a lot lately through my own lens, because I marvel at the amount of growth that I've had in these core different areas of my life that if I didn't do them all at the same time, I wouldn't have been able to evolve into who I am today. When I think about it on the financial side, when I, used to invest money, like think about this as somebody that now feels like they fully understand money and has built a significant amount of wealth and now has multi-generational plans. Like it wasn't, a decade ago where I just didn't even understand investing. I'm deep into my 30s, and I looked at investing money as just, hey, you hire somebody to manage it for you. I had 3 different brokers. I couldn't tell you if it was growing. If it wasn't growing, I'd get a statement up, down. I had no idea. It's in stock market. At one point, I'm being sold by, the investment broker of, you got to be in Caterpillar. Caterpillar's a mover with the market. Caterpillar, the makers of like heavy farm equipment, you know what I mean? And okay, I guess, it's like that lack of understanding, lack of knowledge, and lack of even, putting any effort into getting better at understanding and investing my own money. I didn't even try. I thought that's just what you did. But the moment that I began to commit to, understand where I was going to invest money and how I could get better at learning the different ways for my money to make money that I would understand, rather than investing blindly with someone that's supposed to be an expert. And again, I think experts are essential in your journey to achieve anything. You've got to surround yourself with great people that can be a multiplier to who you are, but you got to have general knowledge. You've got to learn and make a decision that I'm going to learn this and get better and better at it. And then over time, it just began to change. Now that I was open minded and decided I was going to learn how to invest and get better at it, what happens? Then begin to meet people. The universe draws people into my life that now can teach me and explain to me different ways that I should consider looking at, investing based off of more the style of how I'm, looking to achieve money, which one was through building companies and the other through talent and television income. And even as I began to, develop that strategy and learned it, it changed me. It changed me because now it changed the perspective of what was I hoping to achieve with, creating companies and creating this liquidity event that's taxed a certain way. And then here's this ordinary income from television. It all made sense to me how I wanted to do all this when I began to understand, okay, where do you want to invest that money later, right? So that was growth. That was like, hey, I'm going to commit to learning all aspects of finance now. And then now when I look at what I've grown and evolved into today, the way that I assess operators and of multifamily units and look at like, are they fully integrated and how much are they leveraged and what are their fee structures? Like it's so technical. And, you know, 10 years earlier, I just blindly looked at like a broker who I didn't even vet or even understood what they were doing or what their strategy was, just went along with it is what my strategy was, which what did it do? It caused all this immense stress and lack of knowledge made me continually second guess, like, what am I doing? And then when the stock market would go down and my portfolio go down, now I'm like, I don't want to be in the stock market. It created all this anxiety because I didn't understand it, because I never committed to getting better at learning how to manage my own money. And again, now, all these years into the future, it actually gives me this incredible energy and great peace because now I understand it at such a level that I know how to vet the potential partners and have experts around me that are feeding me opportunities and giving me things to look at and teaching me, because I just know that the further I grow and evolve, the more I've got to learn, the more I can see that I can grow into, and that's the thing about, continually getting better at anything is it becomes exciting. Once you begin to understand it, then you begin to get good at it, and then you can begin to see how much you have left to learn. It gets exciting. It gives you energy. It delivers that hope of a better future and more knowledge and more excitement. That is the spot that you want to get to in this pursuit of continually getting better in all aspects of life. And for me, when you look how important all aspects of money, managing your money is, learning everything about it will serve so much towards guiding your direction and your yeses and nos on the things that you will and won't invest in as you earn money and build a strategy to get you to a promised land. And think about it from a health perspective. So now you have looked at your job, you've looked at your career, you now understand you have a strategy to save money. Now you're learning how to invest it. Man, that is without a doubt going to give you a high probability of a happy future. That's what you want. And then as you grow into it and get closer to it, it's going to give you the energy, and you're just going to want to learn more and more and more. And the more you learn, the better you become at it, the more confident you are, the more consistent you execute, the higher returns, the more predictable the outcomes are that just make you happy. And when you think about, okay, I want to be as healthy as I possibly can, because health adds so many different levels to your life beyond just how you look, as I've said in the past, but getting there requires the commitment to man, I'm not trying to necessarily get to a weight. I'm trying to get as healthy as I possibly can and begin to learn all aspects of what it means for me to be healthy because it's different to every single person, and for me it was no different. What did I think 10 years ago it was to be healthy? It was strictly how hard could you work out and what was your body composition? You know what I mean? What was your percentage of body fat? How much muscle did you have and what did you weigh? That was everything. Right? And what did I do? Boy, I did the most insane workout programs ever. I did the most insane workout programs ever. Heart monitor, like anaerobic threshold, running supersets, 1 hour straight. How long were you above anaerobic threshold versus how long did it take you to do the superset? Look at you. That was an 82% effort mark. And boy, did I hurt. Boy, did I hurt. I was a mess. My calves always cramping, hamstring always blown, like pain in my back, like just a mess. A mess because I didn't think about anything other than, hey, if you just work out super hard, everything else will take care of itself. And then I knew that I just felt terrible and that I had to make a change. And then I discovered blood work, right? Now let me learn more about the whole body. Then when I do blood work, what happens? Now the blood work shows that I have all this inflammation and I have leaky gut and all of these different aspects of different things I never even considered that began to change the way that I looked at what even being healthy was, and went on the journey to really understand all aspects of my body and what it means to be healthy for a very long time, which isn't easy, right? Because even when you commit to all these different aspects of getting better in life, they take a really long time. It's not about getting, great in all aspects of your life overnight. You just don't have the time or the energy or the mind share to commit to all of you all the time. You want to be incrementally choosing different things to work on that you focus more on while you're continually incrementally getting better in all different aspects of your life, but never fully focusing on one area. And I think, for me, even my health journey was a very interesting one because I got so obsessed with learning everything about the structural and muscular skeletal function of my whole system and the neurology that I, began to not even really have much consideration of what the diet ultimately meant and what the body composition was because I was getting such incremental change by committing fully to my structural side. I was seeing such a change in my blood work that, I allowed myself to fatten up. I lost it. 2019, man. Peak pig. I've said it in the past, you know what I mean? I just at the height of learning everything about my body and really focusing on how it functioned, I allowed that diet to slip. Slipped into donuts and cakes and all that fun stuff, and I peak pigged, and it seems crazy to me now, but as I was focusing on all these different areas and incrementally getting better, I was learning so much about my body, but was undervaluing the diet side of things compared to as I began to finally lock in on the structural side and then begin to understand the importance of the diet side and how it actually is impacting a lot of that structural side. It pushed me to get a deeper understanding and grow further now into the diet side, which today has gone to an even more extreme side because it's the now it's what is your biological age? What is your intrinsic and extrinsic age, and what is the strength of your telomere, and how fast are you aging? Like this is how far it is now, and now it's the what's the strength, the cellular strength of each one of your cells, and what's the age of your cells? It's like now, like it is. the knowledge and the evolution is driving to a place of like, man, you now have this deeper understanding of everything that you put into your body has a cause and effect. And if you really focus on optimizing into the exact system you have, that you can slow your aging down. Like what? Like 10 years ago, it was like, just work out as hard as you can. Now it's like, hey, work out in the right pace, the right amount, and make sure you're getting the proper sleep and detoxing and the right amount of water and monitoring your glucose and understanding what is the right diet and when you should eat for your overall health, and then what are all the nutrients and the things that you need to create holistically to drive down your biological age and age at a slower pace so that you can be a better version of yourself on an ongoing basis. That's a decade of evolution and learning of when you're just continually getting better at all aspects of your health rather than just simply trying to be in shape, and again, what is it? So much more fulfilling. I just understand everything about the body the same way I understand everything about like my financial world and how all of these impact everything, right? And then what was another major portion of my life that I dedicated getting better and better at? It's managing my time and energy, right? And it started first with like, really just knowing that I just lived so chaotically and I was just like anybody else, where you just looked at life and you were just ultimately like, man, I get pulled from thing to thing to thing, and there's just never enough time. Like I'm always doing so much. Then I get overwhelmed. Oh, now I have to make a decision to get rid of some things, and like now it feels like I'm sacrificing, but those are part of the things that mean the most to me, but those are causing the most stress. Like it's like when you don't fully understand how your time is now becoming really the thing that's making you the most stressed out and really overwhelming you is all the things that you've decided to do. That overcapacity feeling, you feel it, but it's hard to understand what it is, and it really starts first with designing your time. And I just never thought about it, up into that a decade ago. I just thought, man, this is how successful people are successful, is they just continually keep pushing and push towards one single goal, or trying to, find some big success rather than understanding and being their use of time and being much more intentional. And I think for me, it started first with like, hey, how does your life flow? And then building that rhythm. And then it slowly evolved, from understanding how I would ideally like to use time to then getting to the point of understanding the value of that time. And then let's start tracking that time. And it went first from zero time design and just living in chaos and being like, that's just what it is for an entrepreneur. And like, when you're super hard working, that's what it is. To then like, okay, let me put some structure to my time and design it in a way that keeps me balanced. To then, oh wow, let me now really track all my time and begin to understand exactly where I spend that time. And now it's like, okay, how do I track that time? And now start grading the use of that time based off of the energy, and start understanding what is my mind balanced in that time. And that's just continually getting better and better and better at using time with intention, and then creating systems and different ways to evaluate it, to just get better and better and better at it. But again, when you begin to look at all of that, like, hey, this is what I learned and grew into on understanding money. This is what I learned and grew into on understanding health. This is what I learned and grew into understanding my time. Like, it's just a few examples of when you're committed to trying to get better and better and better, and it's in all areas of life on an ongoing basis, that you're eventually going to like integrate it all to create this perpetually evolving self that keeps growing into a better version of yourself on an ongoing basis. And for me, it's just this idea that, I have so much like gratitude for discovering it, 6, 7 years ago, and then really committing to it, because it is the thing that changed me the most. It's really looking at life and saying, how do I want to be better in all aspects of life? The moment you say that, it informs the strategy, because you just start looking at all the different parts of your life that you could get better in. And it's just one or two things that you can do that leads you to getting incrementally better will then make the whole better. And I think that for me truly changed everything. And so often, especially in the world of really trying to figure it out and trying a lot of different things, it's just so easy to slide back into focusing on one thing. Oh, I got to get healthy and just try to lock in on health. Oh, I gotta focus on this company above all over everything, like, because that's going to be the difference that makes the difference in everything. And versus like beginning to see how important understanding and getting better in all aspects on an ongoing basis is going to be what actually allows you to accelerate and get better at that thing that you were just going to singularly focus on. And it seems so simple. It seems so simple. But I can tell you without a doubt, if you are struggling in life and not sure where you're trying to go, not sure what you're trying to do, feel like you're completely lost, if you just took the time to step back and just looked at all areas of your life, whether it's relationships, it's your career, it is money, it is health, I don't care what it is. If you looked at all of it and just picked 2 or 3 things that you could do to make each of those parts of your life better, and then began to pursue that all at once, you are going to be happy overnight. And it is going to unlock for you the potential that you have when you look at the whole and try to make the whole better. Because that's what it's about. Perpetually and forever evolving into your limitless potential. And you know what it is? You got to have a vision. In order to do that, you got to create the strategy, and then you got to give it all you got to realize it. Until next time, see it, believe it, do it.